What I love about Hong Kong's artistic scene, and really what drew me here after calling another city home for 16 years, is the diversity. That diversity, that cross-pollination, that richness, just like a natural ecology, diversity is what makes something thrive. I'm Alison Friedman. I'm the Artistic Director of Performing Arts for West Kowloon Cultural District. I've been in Hong Kong for 4 years and in Beijing and Shanghai for 16 years before that. So West Kowloon Cultural District is one of the largest arts and cultural developments in the world right now. We're building 6 performing arts centers, 2 museums, huge outdoor open public park space. And the idea is that we're bringing Hong Kong and the world together through the arts. So we do everything from the most traditional Chinese opera. We actually bring a lot of very esoteric local elements from mainland, from Taiwan, even here in Hong Kong, that have never performed to large stages before. In Free Space, we cover jazz, music of all genres, theater, dance, and of course digital, which everybody in COVID is now exploring digital. We've launched major festivals, indoor and outdoor, including our annual Free Space Jazz Fest. We focus a lot on families. You know, you build the buildings, but unless you make efforts to build new audiences, people won't just automatically come. So we do quite a bit of family programming, things for kids. Something we're launching this year is called Crew Kids, which is working with our backstage technical and production team to help kids understand what actually happens behind the scenes at a theater. So they get to come and understand lighting design, sound design, and the hardworking tech crew kind of behind the scenes, behind the curtain, that really make all kinds of performances happen. And one of the questions with West Kowloon is people said, well, Hong Kong already has so many performing arts venues, why are you building more? And the answer is, more is more when it comes to arts and culture. If you look at cities like New York, like London, like Paris, the more you have, the more market share. You're just making the pie bigger for everybody. And that's definitely what West Kowloon's doing here for Hong Kong. One of the core values that West Kowloon has is deep, long-term partnerships with the local arts scene. This is obvious for the Shichu Center, the Cantonese, the Chinese Opera House. So we have a resident tea house rising stars troupe. These are all artists in their 20s and 30s, and they perform at our tea house theater, which is this beautiful little intimate theater for about 150 artists, every Wednesday through Sunday. When there's no COVID, you get tea and dim sum during the show. So that's a way to nurture the next generation of artists in this traditional art form. On the other side of the district, at Free Space and in the Art Park, one program we have is called the Choreographer and Composer's Laboratory. This pairs independent music artists and dance artists to have long-term creation residencies in our space here in the box at Free Space and upstairs in some of our studio spaces. What is key about this is it's our commitment to both process as well as product. I think in Hong Kong you see a lot of churn, a lot of drive to get the show up, it performs 2 or 3 times, and then you never see it again. And as we know in any kind of industry, you really need R&D to innovate and to develop new products and new industries. So West Kowloon, and especially Free Space and Shichu Center, have been committed to that R&D, that research and development process, in partnership with our artists. The challenges in Hong Kong is how to invest in process, how to invest in that R&D that allows artists to really experiment. My favorite quote is Beckett. He said, "Try again, fail better." How do you fund the failures? You need the successful failures in order to get something really groundbreaking. And that's a real challenge in Hong Kong. The opportunity in Hong Kong in the creative arts, I think right now Hong Kong is at a moment of reinvention. Hong Kong used to be such a financial powerhouse, you know, really quite a center of the region. And as with any superpower, as things change, you can't hold on to what was. You have to be thinking, what's next? What's the next opportunity? What's the next reinvention of our identity? And I think that's the moment that we're in now as everybody in Hong Kong rethinks identity, faces the changes. Artists are doing that too. So I think in the arts and culture scene, we're at that moment of what's next.